that.
Well, for a start, I better introduce myself. So I'm Sam and I'm from Norwich. And you are?
I'm Mike. I'm from Norwich too.
um,
Quite close to Sam. Actually, I live quite nearby.
Good. So, yeah, I was going to talk about the journey up until this point in terms of the 21 days abundance meditation and what has transformed.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're going through so much stuff at the moment because of this supposed virus that lots of things have transformed in terms of abundance. What would you think are the main things that have transformed in terms of abundance over the last 21 days?
Well, me personally, I think in abundance, I think probably it's encouraging people to think more about the people around them. I know it started off everyone with a big rush for material stuff, going out and buying stuff, but I think that's calmed down a bit now, and people are realizing they don't have to buy quite so much. They can survive with a lot less. I think also, even though it's kind of classed as self-isolating, I think it's kind of actually brought loads of people together. People talking to people they wouldn't normally talk to, listening to people they wouldn't normally talk to, hearing viewpoints that they probably wouldn't listen to, thinking about things in ways that they never did before. I think it's kind of like a big kind of wake-up call and a big opportunity for people. I think people are starting to see it like that.
Can you give me some examples of how you've noticed people talking to each other more?
Well, me personally, I suppose. I mean, that's probably the only example I can give you. But I mean, I'm talking. I've been talking to people. I mean, if this had happened 20 years ago, before we had like all the Facebook and every stuff like things like that, it'd be probably a totally different thing. But with like Facebook and with these kind of meetings, Zoom meetings, whatever. So for me personally, I've been talking to people that I haven't spoken to for years.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing them on Facebook, doing stuff and kind of, yeah.
I'm finding the same. I think standing in the queue for the supermarket where you're spaced out, you're all looking at each other going, why are we standing here spaced out? And then you start talking about what's possibly going on to people you wouldn't normally talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And then we realise how much stuff we have got after the scare that we thought we wouldn't have anything. You suddenly think, hang on a minute, like everything I went in there to get, I've come out with. So everything I thought was going to happen hasn't actually happened. So from that point of view, I think that things have transformed. People are less fearful because they're turning to each other.
I
Interesting.
think so. And I think all the, all the little like worries that, when people are getting up, going to work, they've got all these silly, not silly, but, little things that niggle them, worry them, and they're worried about this, worried about that. Now, because everyone's in the same position, I think people are worrying less. They're not worrying. You're just talking to someone about they've got a bank loan. Well, why worry?
Yeah.
In the scheme of things, that's actually irrelevant. The only person you owe money to is the bank. So,
Yeah. So they're learning or they're gaining.
and they ain't got money in the first place. So.
Yeah, so they actually got less worry because they know no one's going to come after them if they do owe
Well,
any
I think so,
money.
because I think if you're sitting there, people have been piling up debts. People have been living on poverty line for years, and it's kind of leveled the playing field a bit. And also, it's kind of, I think it's taken away that kind of fear of the future. The financial part is kind of like, well, all the time spent worrying about stuff. Did we really have to? There's far more important things to do. There's far more important things to worry about, care about. focus on, you know.
Hmm. So other things you've started to do that you wouldn't normally be doing because we're actually in this situation in terms of hobbies, interests, or things that you're actually able to get on with that might have not been done because you'd been busy trying to go out and do a job, or not been in such a
Yeah.
state of peace of mind as you are now.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like the allotment, for example, you know, I mean, that's one of those things that has been bugging me since we got it, you know, that I haven't spent the time on it, haven't put the effort into it, haven't done what I wanted to do to it. And it's always there at the back of your mind, oh, I need to do it. And always it seems like there's always something more important to do, you know. And we've been down there for a couple of days, a couple of afternoons even, and completely turned it around from, you know, what looked like an impossible task, you know, all overgrown kind of stuff like that. You know, just spending a couple of afternoons down there has transformed it, you know.
So that's more
So now
abundant.
it's actually something that I can, rather than, I don't want to think about the allotment because it's too big a job to even contemplate. It's now something I can think about and get enjoyment from for the first time since I had it.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Have you found yourself talking to people in groups more than you would have done before? Online or, you know, outside?
Well, no, not so much outside, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I suppose I have been on groups. I mean, you know, probably not very, what's the word? I mean, most of the people I've been talking to in groups are kind of like ex-Navy friends of mine. So, you know, it's not, I wouldn't call it the most serious of conversations, but they're still talking to people that I haven't spoken to for a long while. So
Oh, that's good.
that's kind of good for me as well, because it kind of,
Hmm.
you know, the stuff I sort of have to deal with, it's good to talk to other people.
So do you think
Just realise that,
this whole thing might help to improve some people's confidence because they've got less things going on and then they can concentrate more on the things they really want to get to
I
move?
think so. I think it's a real opportunity for kind of just a bit of like personal growth and stuff, you know. Gives people, you know, I think, you know, people have got time if well, I mean, they have got time, you know, time for reflection, time to sort of evaluate where you are in life. Are you doing, you know, are you in a place where, are you doing what you want to be doing? Can you make changes? Do you want to make changes? You know, I mean, you know, people don't, the one thing people don't have the luxury of these days, you know, on the whole, is time. And it's now been handed to most people on the plate, you know. And it's kind of,
Just what we wanted, yeah.
well, I think so. So I
Yeah.
think it's an opportunity, and I think people, rather than be afraid of it and scared of it, and just embrace it and take a look on it as an opportunity, you know.
You're swaying about a lot there, Mike.
Okay?
You're swaying quite a lot. Is
I'm standing up, that's
that
why.
because you're doing your exercise routine?
Yeah,
Have you been doing an exercise routine?
I have, but I start the, well, that's another thing, you know, that quite a while ago I saw a thing on there, he's an ex-Marine, and he's got a website, or it's a website, it's on everything really, but, you know, Facebook, Twitter, and,
Yeah.
you know, website and that, the dad coach thing, James Boardman. And I'd seen it on there, and I kind of thought it was just like get fit thing, you know. I kind of thought it was interesting, but I can't be, you know, I'm not going to do that. And, but then I started looking at it, you know, once this lockdown thing started, it and sort of read a bit more about him, you know, and
Try and stand still, Mike.
well,
Yeah.
clicked on his clicked on his link, so he sent me a load of stuff to explain what he was doing, what he does, you know. And he came out of the Marines. He had PTSD, had alcohol problems, and then kind of turned his own life around by firstly getting fit, then spending time thinking about himself, what was important, prioritizing stuff, taking responsibility, and you know, I think that was about 10 years ago, and he's now got basically quite a massive sort of business. He runs courses for people, and does online courses. So yeah, and then so this morning he sent me an email about he does like a 5-day challenge kind of thing, which is kind of like an intense 5-day sort of fitness program and mental health well-being kind of thing combined. I sort of looked at it and I thought, oh yeah, that sounds good. And I thought, well, I'm not going to do it. And then I thought, so then, rather than just leave it at that, yeah, I was interested, I'm not going to do it. I thought, well, actually, why don't I just sign up for it and do it? You know, I've got no reason not to. And I probably as much as more than a lot of people could do with it. So.
Brilliant. That's really good. I'm going to just say thanks to Andy Smith, because actually Andy sent me 21 days of abundance meditations, and that's what encouraged me to actually look at Zoom along with Louise Rhodes when she did your reading to do soul retrieval and shamanic healing. And she said, oh, can you join Zoom? And I'm like, well, I've never used Zoom. And then on Andy's 21 days meditation, the very last day, it said, make a video of how you've got on bringing abundance to your life using the Deepak Chopra 21 days of meditation. Nobody's reposted in our group a video yet, but because that came up twice, and then a third time when Linda mentioned Zoom, and you immediately went to Zoom after watching that guy, which you might not have done before, and put it onto the computer. So now we've actually got to the point of doing an interview with Zoom, which is a really big step forward for me and for you as well. And so the statement was on the 21st day, I live every moment of every day. I live my life abundantly. So I live my life abundantly every moment of every day. So we're reflecting on that, and so we've had a positive interview on here of Zoom saying how we're living our lives more abundantly, which is brilliant.
Excellent. That was my Zoom post.
Oh, that was your Zoom. Right, should we wrap this up then?
Yeah, that's good, wasn't it?
Okay. Yes, very good.
A minute.
I paused it. I don't know how you stop it.
I don't.